Hey everyone, it's Apache here and welcome back to another episode of Megaquarium, the Freshwater Frenzy campaign. Thank you very much for joining me today and continuing to show your support for the series. If you do enjoy this episode, please leave a like and a comment, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. So I've done a little bit of work between episodes. I've just put some of the massage chairs in here just to try and drag people down into this end of the aquarium. Everyone's really bunched up over here and we need some of the attractions, so I've put some toilets in, some of the vending machines and some of the other attractions as well. So we've got everything down here as well as by the entrance. I've also done a bit with the Discus. I've added in another tank here. We've actually got the 4 different patterns here, and the way I've been doing this is we have 2 Discus in this tank and we have 2 Discus in this tank, and these are our breeding pairs. And then when the animals grow up, when these spawn, turn into fry, and then into the adults, then we actually dump them back into the main tank here. And as you can see, we've got a few in here. We've got some spotted, some heckled and some striped, as well as one of the basic ones as well. And doing it like this means that we can separate off all of their concerns. It does take quite a lot of feeding to do all of this. We've got, I think, 3 or 4 feeders which are just dedicated to this one area. But the reason why I've got it paused at the moment is because if I'm not mistaken, I think we're going to jump over into rank 11 pretty quickly. We've got some good talks going on, and it might not just yet, but it might within the next couple of days go through. I didn't want to let it tick over without you. So yeah, we are carrying on with this Discus farming here. We've got these guys that are about to grow up. They are on their last day now, and we are just waiting for these to grow up basically. What is this one? I haven't actually seen this. Eats parent mucus. Needs to share a tank with at least one parent so that it can feed off its bodily mucus. Okay, so once these... Right, yeah, no, that's fine, because they'll stay in here until they're actually fully grown. And now that they are fully grown, you can see in this tank here, we have 4 different animals here. We have yellow, spotted, and regular. So if we take out these 2, we can place them into there. I'm not sure what the best way to do this is. In here we have a yellow and a heckle. In here we have a yellow and a spotted. And maybe it's actually better to add one of these regular ones into here and actually take out the spotted one, and let's see if breeding 2 different colours together gives us a better chance of getting more colours. Now you can see in here now we have too little of the the floating cover, so we're going to have to add some more of that in. We'll add some more of these tiger lilies if we can, but I don't think we've got space for that. So we're going to have to go with some floating lettuce. We'll add that there. And I'm going to add a little bits of this around as well, wherever we can. I think we've got plenty of space down at the front here. So we can add one there and one there. And there we go. So that's them safe for another few of these as well. Let's have a look what we've got in messages. Dwarf crocodiles have grown, and Discus has grown into Discus. So how many crocodiles do we have now? We just have the 2. I had to sell off a load because they were getting a little bit silly with the amount of filtration they needed. As you can see, we've got plenty of money. Money is not an issue in this level at all, which I do quite like. Having played the brutal mode campaign for so long now, I've got a bit sick of not having money. So it's quite nice to just go down into the normal mode here and actually have a little bit of an easier time with it. In the sandbox mode series, which will be coming up after this has finished, we'll be playing on hard mode, I think, because I want to go for the completionist achievement, Steam achievement with that. It will take a long time, but that's what we're going to go for. I've just got a load of new staff as well, just to try and fill in some of the extra ones. You can see in this feeding zone over here, the Fussy Eaters, we've actually got 4 members of staff now in the Fussy Eaters zone. And we've got a trainee maintenance person who's going to be looking after these once they're grown up as well. Once they're leveled up. They're already grown up, they're working here. But yeah, once they've leveled up fully, then they will be able to work on all of these. And one thing I've found, one really good tip. These tool stations, if you have these, then your maintenance staff don't need to use the tool stations. And they can also carry around these RO things with them as well. So you'll see these guys, I mean, just walking around, just fixing up all of these different things without needing to go back to here and without needing to restock on anything. It really does cut down on the amount of tool stations that you need, and it also really speeds up their efficiency. They can get through all of these machines. If all of these machines broke down, then all 4, I think I've got 3 actually, 3 maintenance people. All 3 of them could get through every single one of these machines in a single day, which is really quite amazing. But as you can see, this Jim here is our new recruit. He's only fixing level 2, so he is a little bit slow in his work. But you can see just the speed the others are going at, it's crazy. And just a few days later, these guys have bred again, and we have ourselves a blue Discus. This is the first other colour we've actually got. This is the first colour we've actually bred properly, because we had the regular ones and the yellow ones given to us. So we're going to pick him out of there and place him into there. And that's actually completed the breeding that we need for this. I'm going to keep this going for a little bit, but I don't want to overdo this. I mean, we've already got an extra one to grow up in here. What I might do now is take these 2 out and place them into there, and actually cut this tank off. And so I'm going to move this onto there. I'm going to delete this tank. And I'm doing that because this is taking up a huge amount of time from our staff. If we want more of these Discus later on, then we can breed more up. However, we are getting quite a few in here now. We've got a decent collection, and we've still got 1 more to grow up from over here. And once this one has grown up, then I think that will be our Discus breeding program finished. Unfortunately, there's no actual extra stuff to go with this. It's literally just this, and then we get the base prestige. So I wish there was something else we could do to get more base prestige, basically. I wish this was a separate quest in its own right. I think that would have been a little bit better. But anyway, we are now on rank 11. Wonderful. So we now have access to the Mega Nitrate Reactor. That's the first thing we're going to get, and then the large UV Sterilizer, and that will allow us to consolidate down a huge amount of this stuff over here, try and get rid of some of the clutter. So let's go. We're going to get the Mega Nitrate Reactor first, and we want some more of the freshwater stuff. So we have American paddlefish, we have green anaconda, and we have the Arapaima. Arapaima. Which one do we go for first? It'd be interesting. Oh no, we can't put these. These aren't freshwater. So we're looking only really to do freshwater stuff in this, so much as we can do at least. I think I'm going to go for the... And this is another roach eater, which needs 3x3. It's not too difficult to get, but I've already put in this tank over here. I've already added in another animal, the electric eel. And this is a roach eater, has 32 roach per day, and is extremely high skill to actually feed. So a huge amount of roach goes into this. and it's difficult to actually keep up with the feeding from this tank and with feeding over here as well. Aha, we have another quest to look at. We'll just do these bits first. Okay, let's have a look at the quest. So we have a message here from a guy called Rufus Hall. He has been watching our progress for some time and would like to work with us on a new exhibit. The theme of the exhibit is Amazonian giants, and we can find all the details below. We need to unlock the Arapaima and the green Anaconda, unlock the island beach tank, and then put both of those into that tank and make sure that they are fully grown. We get 10,000 now and 300 base prestige now, and then we get 10,000 after. So yeah, I couldn't do with cash. I could actually do with the base prestige more than the cash, but thank you very, very much for that. I think that will definitely cut our Discus breeding program short. I think this island tank we're going to have basically in the centre here. We'll move this out of the way once we get that unlocked, but I want to get some of this nailed down first, because we are really behind basically on the amount of network the amount of things we have attached to this. It's just got a bit crazy. So all of this, all of these, all of this, and all of these, and that one there, is all for the acidic tanks, and then this lot here is for the neutral tanks. So yeah, I'm glad we've now got the mega nitrate reactor. We're going to go for this large UV sterilizer next, and then once we've got this, then we'll go for the island beach tank. We have a huge amount of science coming in, and we could get a lot more as well if we swapped over the talks, but I'm not really too worried about it, to be honest. We can now move all 4 of these out of here and place them all into there. Make sure that they are all nice and happy, which they seem to be. And then we can delete this. This will delete the RO machine as well. But now we want to try and tackle this. So what can we do here? Let's see, first of all. This might be a nice one to test on because it's nice and easy to work out the configuration on it. So if we get rid of all of these, we need 4 mega things on it first. So go for these. Like that. And then 4 of these is worth 360. However, 2 of these is worth 420. So doing it like that actually gives us a huge amount more output. And it might mean that we don't need these once we've done this bit as well. So let's get rid of those bits. Let's move these around a bit like that. And then let's go for the mega nitrates. So go for those. And now what I want to do is actually cut this tank off and see what we've got going on over here. Now this was the tank that we were worried about. This needs the highest filtration. And it does now look like this entire pump system is a redundant line, because we've got no issues, no worries with the filtration in that tank. So now we can come in and just delete that one entirely, and we're going to go for the green Anaconda next. And that has saved us, what, 8 machines in this entire place. So we're going to do the same over here. Let's see. Jamila feeding, wonderful. We're going to get rid of these 4. We're going to move these around into position. And then we're going to add in 2 of those. And then over here, I'm going to do exactly the same thing. So get rid of those. Can move these around. And then add in 2 of those. And now this is 1, 2, 3, 4 tanks here. So if we cut the circulation off of that tank, now you can see we're not quite getting enough. It's over here. This is the big one, which is the worrying one. So we are going to need some. However, it's nowhere near as much as it was. So we'll reconnect that on. We'll get rid of all of these, apart from one. And we wanted another one of these. We can actually probably get away with having just a large one on here, because it was just a redundant line. I was finding we were getting just a little bit low when more than 2 or 3 of these needed fixing in one go. So we'll see how that goes, and yeah, we can just add on to here, and I'll swap it over for one of these as well. But I think that is really going to cut down on the amount of maintenance we need. It'll make it a lot easier to control. So we have now researched the island beach tank here, so we're going to go for the next one, which is going to be the viewing platform tank as well. We're going to pause the game here, and I want to move some stuff around because I want to know exactly how big this tank is going to be. So let's grab the island beach tank, and yeah, it's going to be, well, it's not too big. We'll put it in a corner, we'll bring it out to there. Let's see if we can get it in. There we go. So that's the tank that we're going to have. It has a cut-off over here, so maybe this would be good. Nah, tell you what we'll do. We will place this in where this is, and we'll move this to over here. So let me move this over here now. And now that we have that moved, we can move this into place, and we're going to place this about there. We're going to come onto this side of it, and we're going to say that we want a platform on there. And how big is this? Oh, it's only 1. Okay, that's not too bad. So if we, what I want to do is see if we can actually put a large pump on here that would reach to over here, but it doesn't look like we can. So what we might actually have to do is just put a lone pump in the middle here, and we'll decorate around it. Maybe move these guys over to the side here, and we'll daisy chain this onto that entire network, and then we can move these around there. Now this isn't fully going to work, is it? Because, tell you what, we don't actually need one of these. We only need one of the smaller ones, the power pump. And if we place that, it's 1 too far away. Okay. So if we place that there, it can connect that pump to that tank, and it can connect to that tank. And now we only need a tiny little twofer setup there. So we can delete those and move that into position there. And then we can move these into position around this to make that look a bit neater. And then we've actually got 2 bins that we had spare here, which can go on either side. And that means we don't need that bin now. So there you go, hiding a pump in a kiosk to bring this into this whole network. So we are going to have to add in at least 1 more of these RO machines. I've moved a couple of things around just to bring the RO machines into the same place. We're going to need to move this up by 1. which I can't do because of those. Let's place this down for a minute. Move these out of the way. Let's get this. Place that there. And add in that tank as well. And then one more RO machine goes in there. And we need how much more? Oh, actually not too much more. So if we change this one here over to a mega heater, that will do that. So that's all the heat we need. And it looks like we're okay on the acidity as well. So at the back here we can actually put that all the way across and have those there like that. So this is right out in the open. Anyone can come and stand up here as well if they so wish, but this is where the staff are going to feed from. I'm going to have a specific member of staff looking after these guys, I think. Because at the moment I've got my really high skilled people over here and they now need to come over here as well. So in this tank we're going to want a green Anaconda, which is here, and these grow up to size 40, so we're not overly huge, but we do need 13 land capacity, so we'll add one of those into there. And we need an Arapaima. So we'll come back into here, and Arapaima, these actually grow up to 90. These are huge. Wow, okay. So we'll put one of those in as well. All the requirements are not met yet. So we need to have 15 floating cover and 11 cave. So the 11 cave, I'm actually going to put one of these gaping cabins in here because I think they look really quite nice. And if I can... Oh, is this a shallow tank? Does that mean I can't have one of these in it? Yeah, it does. Okay, so we're actually going to have like 3... Maybe we'll do 2 of these. We'll put one, say there. Ah, yeah, 2's all we need actually. That's okay. And then 15 floating cover. So we're going to go for the giant water lilies because that gives us plus 15 anyway. So this is all we actually need, and these are brand new and they look incredible. Wow, they look so cool. Definitely going to have 2 of those in. They look really cool. I like those. So yeah, that's all of the actual requirements we need. Is there anything else we could put in here? Let's just have a look at these. Eat size up to 36. Wow. From 4 to 36. And then these will eat size 3 to 16. Okay. So hang on. Are these actually going to grow up and eat each other? Let's see. This is size 13. And it's going to grow in 10 days. This starts off at size 24. What I think we might actually be better doing, what I think the sensible thing is to not put this Arapaima in here yet. Because I think at least until this is leveled up at least once, give this a head start. Because it could get to a point, if this grows up every 8 days and this grows up every 10, it could get to a point where this guy could eat this guy. So I'm going to do that for now. I'm going to press play, and we also want to see what podiums are like on this. So we have the green Anaconda, 23 prestige. Okay, let's do that. 9 o'clock every 2 days. Done. I do want to have a look at what the Arapaima gives us as well. But the Anaconda will be fine in there until he's grown up a little bit. So 10 days later, our Anaconda has grown up and size 25 now. So it should be okay to be in with the can never remember the name of this. Arapaima. That's what it's called. So I'll put one of those in there now. I do want to have a look, see if we want another talk, but no we don't. It's just ecology. We don't actually need any ecology at the moment at all. We're actually doing pretty well on this. We've only got 3 left and they're all saltwater, and we've finished all of the science research. And so in rank 12, what do we get at rank 12? Mega Uv Sterilizer. We get the Mega Pump. That's going to be the big thing. We can cut down a huge amount once we get that. We get the sunken aeroplane, of course, and the auto feeders. Auto feeders are going to be ridiculously good. I think I might change over a few of these tanks once we get that. However, these cannot, in the base game at least, these cannot do the fussy eaters, the ones that need skill to feed. They have to be fed by hand. You can't use the auto feeder, which is slightly annoying. I wish that you could use this for some of the fussy stuff. I think in my modded game, after we finish this, I am actually going to change the auto feeders myself so that they do feed the ones that require skill. At least, maybe not the very high skilled stuff, but at least the slightly skilled stuff, like the 1 tick, maybe the 2 tick as well, but not the 3 tick stuff. I think that'd be too powerful, but I think it would be good to extend the use of the auto feeders quite a lot. So I am going to change that and mod that into the game. And we do get the mega tank as well. I'm pretty sure that we will end up needing the mega tank for this thing that we're going to get, the manatee. And I've also seen that the manatee is not actually available at rank 12, so we're going to have to actually be given that separately. Now I'm not sure what that means for sandbox mode, whether you can actually get it in sandbox mode at all. Mika, right, you're now maxed up on feeding, sorry, on fixing. You're over here in the maintenance area. Do we actually want to do anything with you? I think we might just keep you. No, I'm going to give you some... I'm just going to give you some gift shop, just to keep you levelling up. Because our gift shop is woefully low. We are behind on that. And for Olive here, I've actually turned off everything else, just to make sure all this fixing gets done. But I am actually going to give you a point in feeding now, and I'm going to take your feeding up to 5, and you can actually start helping out back here with some of these tanks. I think you'll be able to do quite well with that. Ooh, we have a slight problem here, and this is probably because we have more crocodiles. Keep having to sell these guys off. They keep breeding and I keep selling them off. Dante is leveled up as well. You're definitely going to get your gift shop up. Whenever you're not giving a talk, you will be doing the gift shop stuff and some of the cleaning. But as you can see, we're still not keeping up fully with all of this. So it's getting done, but it's not getting done quick enough for my liking at least. So the Arapaima has now grown up, at least to size 46 out of a maximum of 90, on day 2 out of 12. This is on day out of 14 for the Anaconda, and the Arapaima can only eat size 18 creatures at the moment. So we should be okay with both of these. However, I believe this one started at size 16, so we would have had an issue if they both started at the same time. So I'm quite glad we did swap them out at the beginning and let the Anaconda grow up just a little bit first. Let's just have a look at what size we actually start out as. Size 13 actually, yeah, so it started off at 13. So the Arapaima would have been able to eat it if we hadn't let this one grow up. So yeah, I'm keeping these up on the side just to keep an eye on them. I've also put in a little decor object on here. I really do like this new skull. That looks really quite cool, and I think it's quite fitting for this tank. And there's also a temple, but I think we might leave the temple for the mega tank. which I'm sure they will make us put in. And I believe the mega tank will actually be a whole new thing in its own right. If it's anything like the whale shark, this thing's going to be huge, and we're going to need to basically expand out a huge new area. So I think that's what we might be looking at next episode. I want to get this done this episode though, so we're going to wait until I think it's going to be another 8 days before this Arapaima grows up fully, because the Anaconda has now fully grown, and so we're just waiting another 8 days and then this will be complete. So after a few more days, we have now completed this quest, Amazonian Giants complete. It is so gratifying to see these wonderful creatures cared for right through to adulthood. A rare sight, but I'm sure your guests will enjoy. Yours, Rufus Hall. So we'll close that out. We will go to here. Yep, you have grown up. That's good. We'll actually get rid of a couple of these things now. That's all we can do. Let's just have a look at this. You are here. Yes, you're now size 90. How much roach do you take per day? You eat 120 roach. Wow, okay. That's a huge amount. Every 2 days. That's a huge amount. But anyway, that is where we are going to leave things off for today. Next episode will be the big push for rank 12. As you can see, we are, we're not that far off. I mean, if we make some changes to this, put some decor items around and maybe put some more talks in where we can, then we will get quite far into getting up there. We also need to try and put some more species in, so we're going to try and get this one finished next episode, I think. Try and get to rank 12 and get, well, so there's only a couple more species in really. We'll have a look through the list, see what we're missing, and add a few more tanks in. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me today. If you did enjoy this episode, please leave a like, comment and subscribe on the video and to the channel, and I will see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting me by subscribing to the channel and liking and commenting on the videos. Thanks. See you next time.